because they have the same power and they fight together. Um,
You got Seiron
fuck it, I bet she's a fucking loser too.
Yeah,
Kinda. Imagine 2B, but 2B never becomes a likable character. Like, at all.
I'm sure we all have a lot to discuss. So why don't we
Like, none of the charming, like, oh hey, maybe 9S isn't a little shit after all. None of that charming character development, none of, like, the cute little moments they have together. No. 2B is just a stone cold bitch for the entire game. That's basically Kasane. But then imagine that, like... Okay, I can't get too ahead of myself because I really need to break this down why I hate this character so much. So at one point in the game, 2B becomes really cool, then catches computer COVID and dies. Yeah, you really hate to see it.
The make is identical.
F in chat for 2B. But, yeah, no, at one point in the game, Kasane, like, straight up 86's, Yuito's father, like, right in front of him. Like, he sees her holding the knife, and for some reason, he's still having doubts about Kasane murdering his father. Like, oh no, Kasane would never do this. I know so much about her, because we're friends after we talked, like, twice. And so, yeah, Kasane would never do that. She's my friend. She wouldn't kill my dad in front of me. And so he's trying to, like...
We should sort our belongings, then.
I guess... rationalize this?
Kaguro, what are you
Except no, he's not really.
I think it's probably best we
How do I put this? He's basically trying to make excuses on Kasane's behalf as to, like, why she couldn't have done that, even though she clearly did, and she admits to doing it. And not even that, she immediately tries to kill Yuito, several times after killing his father, and refuses to explain why. And so, like, you'd think after a certain point, Yuito would just kind of drop the nice guy act, and just be like, okay, well, fine. I guess it's your, I guess you need to fucking die then. If that's how it's gonna be. Because that's probably what, like, what an actual person would probably do in Yuito's position. Like, basic self-preservation instincts. Like, this person is a threat to my life and I need to remove them. Like, that's the logical conclusion someone would come to. But Yuito doesn't do that because he's a fucking idiot. We can't... We can't have our squeaky clean goody two-shoes anime protagonist resolve to murder someone who's literally trying to kill him and already killed one of his closest family members. Because...
Are you talking about me? You don't have to be so nasty.
And it's like, I get it. I get that if Yuito offs Kasane, there would... like, the story would just kind of, like, fall apart from that point on, but I don't really care about the story. I just kind of want to see one of the protagonists die because I hate them both.
You know, just because I saved you doesn't mean I think you're any good. I don't exactly hate you though.
Fuck off, shitter.
So full of it.
Also, the character that I'm referring to as Shitter and nothing else is his name is actually Shiden Ritter. I just use Shitter as shorthand because he's a fucking asshole and it was too perfect not to use.
You hid something.
Don't say it twice like that.
So yeah.
Sorry. I'm really sorry.
Bad thoughts in regards to this game. I don't have a lot of nice things to say about it, really. Even the combat, which I thought I was having fun with, is really clunky and weirdly unresponsive. Like, you know that whole thing? Like Yuito's, like the crux of Yuito's ability? Picking things up with his mind and throwing them at other things? Yeah, it only works, like, half the time. Lots of animation lock. Yeah, a lot of that. You cannot, once you are in an attack animation, you cannot cancel out of it with a dodge. Which you'd think you'd be able to do, this being a character action game. Like, this isn't fucking Devil May Cry, where, you know, you actually need to put very careful thought and timing and into, you know, blocking, parrying, and dodging attacks. No. With this game, it's supposed to just be, you press a button, you're out of the way, maybe you slow down time if you get the timing just right. But that never happens because enemies, the way every single enemy in this game telegraphs its attacks is identical to how monsters in Monster Hunter telegraph their attacks. It's just that in that game is built around it and built, you know, correctly. So, you know, it's possible for someone who gets good enough at the game to properly evade oncoming damage. Not in this game. I've said it like several times throughout the stream because it bears repeating and also more people are here to hear it now. But, yeah, no, your best bet with avoiding damage in this game is to just eat the fucking damage and then heal it, and then heal over it. Like, you're not going to avoid damage in this game. Because the game's just so fucking janky. And yeah, like I said, when it comes to picking up objects and throwing them, that only works like half the time. You have to fucking mash the button. The game can't decide whether it wants you to hold down the right trigger or mash the fuck out of it to pick up an object and throw it. And I can't even tell... It's so inconsistent as to whether the objects you pick up and throw even need to be in your direct line of sight. Because sometimes you can be fucking staring at an interactable object, the enemy you plan to throw it at is right in front of your goddamn face, and you'll be mashing the fucking trigger, and nothing fucking happens. And then, through some divine intervention, an act of God, you finally get an object you finally pick up an object and throw it at an enemy, and turns out that object was like a fucking continent behind you. Completely off camera, nowhere near the enemy or your direct line of sight. It's fucking baffling. Like, I just don't know. I don't know when it's supposed to work. Am I fucking microwaved? Am I just fucking insane? Am I the idiot here? Or is this game just shit? Ugh! I fucking hate this game. No, I've completely moved past giving this game any sort of benefit of the doubt. This is a bad game. I don't even want to call it mediocre anymore. It just... The gameplay! The fucking gameplay was the only thing this shit show of a game had going for it. Right? And that doesn't fucking work properly. Fucking hell, man. Just watch the anime. Just watch the anime. If you care about this game's story at all, fuck. I don't know. Maybe the anime does it better. And then I came in just in time to see that cutscene. I gotta agree with my cousin that the skits from the Tales game series look better. Yeah, they really fucking do. I'll take the skits from, like, fucking Tales of Berseria or Vesperia any day. Doubly so, because the characters in those games are actually pretty charming and well-written, except for Velvet. She's a cunt, and I hate her, and literally every single character in that game is better than she is. But... I mean, you know. That game also has Mogulu in it, which might be my favorite character in, like, any game I've played. But, I mean, that's beside the point. Yeah. I feel like if they didn't waste budget making a separate anime adaptation to release alongside the game that basically covers the exact same story, they could have just animated the cutscenes properly, and then there would have been no need for the anime adaptation. Because, I mean, let's face it, most people realize, at least most people who play video games regularly, realize that video games are pretty much a superior storytelling medium to basically everything else. Like, you are in control of how, well, not completely in control, but you have a significant